Gentlemen, you have received instructions in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times and protect yourselves at all times. Anything below here is low below. Shake hands. God bless.
And crowd's really into this one, Steve. I'm very anxious to see Naugler.
He's been in with really good fight. He turned pro against Joe Alcine.
Yeah.
That's not very fair matchmaking, is it? Which chance did he have?
And, you know, that's why you always give this guy a live chance. And he really wants to make McGirt uncomfortable. This fight, to me, Steve, is all about who dictates pace, who dictates distance. And McGirt wants to be long, wants to keep Naugler away. Why not? He's got size and reach on him. Naugler trying to work his way in. He's not doing it punching. They're able to pick the shots off that jab, fire that straight left hand. The Naugler camp not necessarily, well, definitely not impressed with McGirt's power, but they do want to stay away from that left hand, and that would mean moving to the left.
Interesting. Naugler's people said McGirt better show more than we've seen on tape.
I think mostly they were talking about power, too, that they feel Naugler is going to walk right through him. It's going to be interesting. He's better start throwing punches if he intends to close the gap intelligently and land.
Well, so far, Naugler's getting low, and a lot of McGirt's punches have gone over his head.
Interesting defense on Naugler. Very tight with the elbows guarding the body. A little bit open from the nose up. His gloves are a little low, but they're at the chin. McGirt taking his time, trying to look for those openings and perhaps create some. Steve, McGirt, limited amateur experience the whole bit. As you said, his dad knows he's got to take him along slowly, but he just looks like a born fighter anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's because he's a born athlete. You know, he was a real good hoops player. Played college basketball, scholarship. And his dad didn't even know he was boxing. And one day, James says to his dad, I'm in the semifinals, and his dad figured he was talking about basketball. Yeah. It was boxing.
Good story.
Yeah, I remember James Jr. at the Felt Forum in New York, watching his dad fight when he was 5 years old.
Those were some fights.
And his dad was some fight.
Totally different. Short, of course, had to get inside.
And that's been a problem. Buddy McGirt says his son wants to fight like he does. And his son's tall and Buddy's short. So you fight the way you're built, not the way you want to fight.
Well, he's able to pot shot with that left hand because Naugler's walking in, but he's not doing anything, Steve.
But he's nullified McGirt's offense, I'd say, too. There's been very few punches landed.
Crowd wants more action. A little bit of a flurry from McGirt, and then over the top with that left hand. Partially landed.
And around this close, that one combination by McGirt, 3 punches could have been the difference.
Thought he hit, he landed that left hand a couple of times, though. And Naugler doing nothing offensively to suggest he would win this round. McGirt, the southpaw, the taller guy. See if Naugler tries to change up a little bit and get a little bit more elusive and a little bit more active in terms of his aggression, trying to close the gap. Yeah, it's like he doesn't know what to do, Steve, when he's in that zone. Oh, low blow. And referee Teles Asimenios caught it immediately.
And a couple of punches after the low blow, too.
Retaliation. Naugler's got to start throwing that jab, trying that jab, and shortening up that right hand. And come in behind something.
And for what it's worth, Nick, we should point out Naugler is the Canadian light heavyweight champion.
Right, I mentioned that, but he said, you know, he's had to move up. He's much more comfortable at 68. And to get certain fights, and he fought Jack Dawson at 75. Yeah, it's just a difficult thing. Good flurry by McGirt. So McGirt able to pick his shots and stay in close because Naugler's not punching him. He's just not active enough. Now he's trying a little rough housing, but standing there waiting to be hit. So McGirt should run him into shots a little bit more. I think that's what his dad wants. Good flurry from McGirt. Elbow caught by Tellis.
Firm referee, huh?
Yeah.
What's your elbow?
Fair but firm.
Well, if you're blatant with the forearm, I can understand it. It is part of infighting, though, and that's nitpicking at this point in the fight, I think.
3 shots, and McGirt wisely goes to the body, ripping with both hands. So McGirt mixing it up, able to fight again. All about range. Now when he's in close, look, Naugler's doing nothing.
Yeah, you used the term 3 shots, and that's exactly why McGirt's in control of his fight. Naugler's letting him punch. Nothing coming back, right?
Right. Why he won't get off, let his hands go. Punch with him.
Nick, when Naugler does punch, I don't see a heck of a lot of power behind it, do you?
No, he hasn't shown me anything yet, Steve. Walking forward. And McGirt really should just be running him into shots a little bit more, turning out of game. Doing a good enough job. He's out boxing him clearly and out punching. Out throwing him, too. You got to throw to land. After the bell. And kept punching after the bell there to end round 1. So the referee will watch that. Now Naugler needing to pick it up here in the 3rd. Walking forward, no jab. We haven't seen it. Not totally inexcusable against the left-hander, but if not, then try something else, like that short right hand. And then when you're inside, look, he's just taking a step back again, Steve.
McGirt's jab hardly dominant either, but I think that's because of Naugler's shell of the defense.
What should Naugler be doing? Staying inside?
Staying inside for sure. You know, if you're going to keep your hands up, bend over, and move forward as he's doing, you have to want to get inside. It's what happens when he gets inside that's the problem. Nothing happens.
Well, McGirt's picking him off at the pass at times, letting him come in, though, and doing a good job of shortening up his shots.
Naugler needs to get physical. You know, when he gets inside, if he's not going to punch, he should at least be leaning on McGirt. You know, roughing him up, sticking his head in there a little bit, wrestling with him.
Right, these partial shots from McGirt landing. Enough to score points. There's a straight left hand as McGirt lets his hand speed go, but single shots now from him. But he's been punching in combination pretty regularly there to the body. Naugler having trouble getting into this fight. I don't know why, just getting off.
Well, the preferred weapon against this southpaw is the right hand.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it.
And no left hooks from Naugler. Steve, it really starts to speak to maybe the hesitancy of Naugler, but more so the McGirt's defense. What do you think?
He's so athletically gifted. He really is. And he's got good reflexes. And, you know, for a fighter who's still relatively inexperienced, James McGirt is very relaxed in the ring. You really see that. You sense that. And that helps your defense a lot. Good point.
Now Naugler trying to open up a little bit, but same old story. A little left hand from him. Not really roughing up McGirt, making him uncomfortable, as he promised. He walks into a combination. And now combination as McGirt unloads body, then head. So that was 4 or 5 punches there. Just rapid fire attack because nothing's coming back.
Not a lot on McGirt's shots,
but enough.
Doesn't have to be though.
Right. He got hit inside there, but single shot from Naugler. And Naugler not turning over his punches at all. Another big round for James McGirt. End of 3. Jason Naugler. This one's scheduled for 8 super middleweights. Undefeated young James McGirt Jr. 17-0. 1 no contest, 9 KOs, taking on very experienced Canadian Jason Naugler.
Best flurry of the fight for Naugler right there at the start of round 4.
Yeah, you can see the corner just imploring him. He's got to get into this fight.
And his slow start would be more understandable if it were a 10-rounder, but it's not. It's an 8-rounder. You can't give too many rounds away.
Absolutely not. They're just pot-shotting one hand that jab from McGirt. McGirt with the little flurries. Fighting low now, Steve. You know, I do notice that McGirt gives his height away a lot. But maybe that's how he gets more leverage.
Well, he has done his best offensive work in close in this fight, throwing the combinations.
Fighting there, and Naugler not making McGirt pay enough. McGirt content then to sit there and let it ride inside.
And even though McGirt's been successful, I hear Buddy McGirt outside the ring screaming, "Get out of there." He doesn't want his son inside.
Yeah, he's really connecting here. Solid combinations from McGirt. As Naugler getting blocked. Head, body. Electing not to hold on. McGirt simply pushes him off and reload starts again. Wow. Naugler's got to start throwing some punches. Now he does.
That's half the problem for Naugler. The other half, there's nothing on it. He's squared up, no leverage whatsoever on his shots.
Look at him. How did he last with Dawson and guys like that?
Well, at least he's getting busy here.
Yeah, so it's turned into an inside slugfest. McGirt content to stand and trade. Yeah, McGirt, a little bit of swelling, it looks like, under the left eye. I mean, he's getting hit, not, as you said, Steve, a lot of steam on those shots. Good right hand on the way out from McGirt.
I love it.
So now we see that hook.
Yeah, I love a southpaw with a right hook. So few have them.
Yeah, exactly.
They might as well not have right hands at all.
Exactly. And there's that hook, and then the left over the top. So the hook setting up a lot of things for McGirt. And that was one of the things I wanted to see him really commit to his game.
Both fighters landing probably 3 times as many punches as they had in any other previous round.
Exciting round as they stand in the trenches and trade. Second half of the fight scheduled for 8. We're in the 5th here in Hollywood, Florida. Nick Charles with Steve Farhood ringside. Glad you're with us. Broadway Boxing. There's a left hook from Naugler. I think the first one I've seen him throw. Combinations from McGirt. Oh, and on the way out, Naugler slices through with a right. So Naugler putting on more pressure on the way out again, another right hand. So McGirt's got to let his hands go again. There it is. But back comes Naugler. Now he's full of a lot more fight than we've seen, Steve.
He is. He's trying a little bit, but here's the problem. Neither fighter is showing much power. That's not a problem for McGirt. He's up 4 rounds to 0. It is a problem for Naugler because he's going to need a knockout to win very soon. If you look at Naugler's record, well, he does have 11 KOs and 17 wins. None of those KOs has come against anything even resembling a named fighter.
It's something we'll address in terms of McGirt's power. Is it something that necessarily has to hold a fighter back?
You have to be a master boxer to get by without at least the power to make your opponent respect you. And at 168, it is a powerful division. I mean, we have Edison Miranda moving up in weight. We have Kessler and Calzaghe, obviously, and many others.
It's a great division.
It really is.
But McGirt with time on his side at 24. Oh, now we get a little bit of flurry. Action heats up. There's hand speed as McGirt unloads.
McGirt got caught by a flurry there because his hands were down.
Naugler in close now. Again, not turning over his shots. McGirt rips back, so they're blasting away inside. You know what? you know, criticized, but McGirt sometimes wins by, you know, it's going to go the distance and he's going to outbox. This is more entertaining from a fan's perspective anyway, Steve.
Oh, very much so. It's a good point. His last fight with Tom Reed, which we did on Broadway Boxing, was a boxing match. McGirt won clearly, but it wasn't anywhere near as entertaining as this because he's standing and fighting Naugler's fight, and he's out fighting Naugler.
He's getting hit, but now landing a lot more. You got to get hit when you're standing inside like that.
Good pace. That's what McGirt needs. Lots of rounds and a good pace.
Jason Naugler had his best round, in my opinion, even though he got the worst of it. It's a moral victory anyway. Go to the 6th. Fast-paced fight, Steve. This one's really moving on. Here comes Naugler looking to be more aggressive. He slowly dialed it up in terms of intensity. Started out doing nothing and now letting his hands go at least.
McGirt opening up this 6th round with movement. Who do you think might have suggested to him that he moves a little more?
The little tall, short guy in the corner?
Yeah, who is that guy? I saw him on the Contender. Who is that guy?
I think he's the best joke teller I've heard in a while. Of course, you can't air any of the jokes. Here comes Naugler, charging forward, absolutely square up. So this is pure straight ahead pressure. But great pot shotting by McGirt. Get off the rope.
Yep. He's bleeding from the nose, James.
Yeah, we noticed that at the end of the round. Just like the last fight.
This is a very interesting round because McGirt clearly wants to keep a distance, slow the pace. Naugler clearly wants to make McGirt fight. Let's see who wins in the Battle of Wills.
Yeah, he's cutting it off pretty nicely, Naugler. But he's got to win these exchanges.
Biggest problem for Naugler on the inside. He's totally square. His left leg is not in front of his right. And that explains why he has no leverage. You can't fight on the inside. You have to keep your lead foot in front of your back foot to get leverage on your punches.
Good point. Good combination from McGirt. Naugler walking in square again. Trying to land those short little shots. And McGirt does a good job of not smothering his power, though. I think pretty darn good job. Not perfect, but he does shorten up pretty nicely.
Right now, James McGirt is arm weary.
He is.
He's throwing baby shots right now.
And as you said, Steve, he's in the danger zone, but because of Naugler's lack of power, he's standing in there. Oh yeah, look, he has the shots, the intensity of the shots and the speeds have slowed down appreciably here in the 6th.
Well, this is a 100+ punch round for McGirt, and when you're going to punch with that kind of volume, the power does get diminished. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. That's for any fighter.
That's a good point. He didn't need to punch that much if he would have kept the distance.
They're both punched out at this point. I'll give him a pass on that, though, Nick, because he threw so many punches. Maybe it was unnecessary to throw so many punches. Maybe he should be a little more selective and just, put more oomph on his shots.
And create a little distance. He's content to stand in and bang with this guy. Well, you're right, he doesn't look gassed here. But he just lost a lot of steam on his shot. Naugler inside, trying to land those uppercuts. There's the flurry again from McGirt. He's up to about, what, 30 punches already, Steve? First 45 seconds.
And that's a lot of punches for
really is
168 pounds.
Exactly. You touched on it first, and you're right. body shot by McGirt as he bangs that hook. We hadn't seen that in a while, Steve, so hook to the body. There it is again, as he seems to have found a home with it. Now the hook upstairs. McGirt trying to create a little distance at times, and then, for the most part, content to stand there and slug.
But the difference on the inside, again, you'll see McGirt giving Naugler a little more of an angle because McGirt's right leg is in front of his left, and Naugler, for the most part, is just totally square. It gives your opponent more punching room, more surface to punch at, and it limits your leverage. So that's one of the reasons Naugler has so little on his shots.
Yeah, if I was McGirt, I'd keep turning, as he sinks in another right hook to the body of Naugler. Naugler not punching now. Now McGirt in close, he's going to get hit, but very little coming back from Naugler. McGirt trying to open up. He has thrown. Steve, you're right. He's definitely in triple digits again, I would think.
Naugler too. They're playing pity pat, but they're just playing pity pat at a very fast pace.
Again, one of James McGirt's more entertaining performances, and we've seen him numerous times. They're going to go the distance, no surprise. Jason Naugler has never been stopped. Eighth and final round here. Main event, James McGirt, Jason Naugler. McGirt unbeaten, Naugler never stopped. This one going the distance, it looks like. Now they're really standing slug. Right in front of us here. And this is a macho thing too, Steve. McGirt not backing off.
If Naugler could have shown this kind of acceleration earlier in the fight, this might have been more competitive. Yeah. But as it is, I have it as shutout.
Well, he blew the first 2-3 rounds by doing nothing. Combinations from McGirt. Once again, landing that hook to the body.
Well, McGirt's given up the idea of moving, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's just planted his feet. But those tight little turns are helping. Naugler's sort of obliging, leaning into shots like that. Boy, McGirt sure giving up his height advantage. Good flurry from McGirt. Now trying to create a little bit of distance. Naugler refuses to hold on, Steve.
Well, for Buddy McGirt, for James McGirt, I should say, the bad news, he fought Naugler's fight. The good news, he dominated in doing it.
Impressive punch outage. Heavy volume, good output from McGirt. He has stayed busy throughout. You notice so few clinches.
This will be the 5th time James McGirt's gone 8 rounds, Nick. And I bet you in all of the other fights that he went 8, he was punching harder in the 8th round than he is here. But I bet you in those other four times, he didn't throw anywhere near the amount of punches.
I would figure 8 rounds, 800. Something in that neighborhood, huh? But is that based on the opponent, Steve?
It's based on the fact that he had a man right in front of him the whole fight. He basically forced him. And I do think he forced McGirt to fight on the inside more than McGirt chose to fight on the inside. Then, hey, who knows? Maybe if Naugler punched harder, well, yeah, McGirt would have moved more.
Yeah. I just didn't see Naugler. I saw him walking in tight guard the whole time. I thought McGirt could have easily controlled from the outside. But he's felt Naugler's power or lack of it and said, I could take it to give more. He has been far busier finishing with a flurry. Entertaining fight here.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. All 3 judges, Peter Trematera, Bill Ray and Alex Levin score the bout 79-73 for the winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated, James Buddy McGirt Jr.
No arguing with winning 7 of 8 rounds, and the crowd liked it well enough.